Finally, here we are.
Oh, we're here now.
We're here. This is it.
This is reality.
This is after nearly 3 hours. Is my mic dropping?
It's drooping.
Drooping.
It's like staying erect for a minute and it's just drooping.
It's a problem I have. I can't help it. After a near 3 hour car journey, turning up late, and then you turned up even later.
I turned up later, but really, you were still setting up when I got here
No,
anyway.
because you could help myself.
I could have helped you, but I wouldn't have helped you because I would have been shit. You know what you're doing with this. You don't give yourself.
Do I look like I know what I'm doing?
You don't give yourself enough credit.
Do I look like I know what I'm doing?
Well,
no.
Yeah, more than I would be. I'd still be sat here with it unpacked, with it still packed.
I'm not happy that how much droop I'm getting.
Right,
I'm getting a lot of droop here.
Well, why don't you just move your hand down the shaft and tighten it up a bit more?
No, I've tightened it up.
Alright, is that as tight as?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Go.
There's a lot of droop going on here.
Yeah.
Too droopy. Dr. Droop. Right. It's a shit version of Dr. Dre.
Okay.
So here we are in our new studio.
Well, it's not our new studio.
It's not our new studio.
Might not come back.
We probably won't come back. It is a bit crap.
Don't whisper. Say it.
It is a bit crap.
Yeah, it is a bit crap. And I've paid for an hour that we've not even recorded.
It's like an old working men's club.
I don't think it is. I think it's
like an old snooker hall, but lots.
It is an old snooker hall, and I think some really low budget porn that has been filmed here.
Well, there might be some today.
Yeah, there might.
You never know. Depends how this goes.
Get more views on the podcast, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, that is true.
But the feeling. You know what? The feeling I get.
Sorry, I'm still sorting droop out. You
from the place is one of kind of like one of those. What do you call them? Like bric-a-brac shops that you'd encounter on like
bric-a-brac shop.
Yeah, bric-a-brac, just like where you just get like loads of random shit and you can buy it. You know, like in America.
How did you get that from this?
Yeah, but did you look at it when you went into the reception?
Yeah, it looked like something.
It was just like
a youth club in Salford.
No, it didn't, because there was a collection of.
Oh, in the reception.
In the reception, there was kind of a collection of like old, old. Try to think of the word.
Right.
Kind of like an antique shop, but not the same.
An antique shop, but not the same. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like loads of hipster stuff.
So I'm just trying to get over my.
Like it has loads of hipster stuff there. It's not very well organised. It's not very. Very tidy. It's not very organised. It's not very tidy. It's kind of like what you'd expect at a tattoo studio. Like really kind of. What are you doing? Really kind of.
The drive up here is something in my head.
Almost like Affleck's Palace. Reminds me of Affleck's Palace in the place that I used to live.
In the 016
In the 016.
So actually, we should tell the viewers that don't know us very well and the listeners. We say viewers, but we didn't actually intend to put these on YouTube to start with. We're just too lazy to put them on a proper podcast format platform.
I don't think it is that we're too lazy. I think it's just something else. I think that fear gets in the way. And even though we don't think it's fair, it's not fair like you're standing at the top of a cliff and someone's like threatening to push you off.
You think we're fearful of putting this on a podcast platform?
No, but did you see the... No, we're not. And it's not even laziness. It's more going outside your comfort zone and doing things that you're not used to doing.
Right,
so
okay.
Did you ever hear the... Did you ever see that video that was floating around Facebook where there was a woman, no idea who she is, probably a self-help author, bullshit, but she was being interviewed and she was about how motivation is like absolute bollocks and it's about discipline and how you're designed as a human being, which is weird, to never ever go out your comfort zone and never ever do anything which is potentially harmful. So you could like translate that to anything that you don't know and that you're not used to is outside your comfort zone, so you never do it. So basically us putting us on that podcast, I'll tell you how my train of thought would go, which would lead to me not doing it. I might come up against some obstacles and they might be quite tough and it might not work and then I might have to do this and that and I might have to pay for something and I might get confused. And I think almost like with me it's kind of always like a bit of a fear of failure. If I analyse it right down to the bottom.
Fair enough, but I think with me it might be more.
That you'll be bored by the process.
I have no interest. Even if there are troubles along the way, I have zero interest in figuring those out.
Yeah.
And I'll just get frustrated and I'll just want to go and eat.
Yeah, it's a bit of that with me. I was going to say, like, I remember a few years ago going to this NLP seminar. Have you heard of NLP? Apparently the Conservative government use it quite a lot, and from what I could tell, Theresa May was using it in her campaign. NLP is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. The seminar was held by a woman called Emma James. Emma James she runs the BTBA Powerlifting Federation, and she's like, I think her company is called Iron Psyche, and I think she helps athletes with their psychology. Neuro-Linguistic Programming is basically what it says. It programs the way you think. Anyway, so basically I had a couple. Tanya George then became certified in NLP, did the course, this, that, and the other, and then I had a couple of sessions, and I learned a lot about NLP, about how kind of it works. And basically, just to give you, it's much more complicated than I could like sum up in a sentence. But say for example, no, I'll give you the gist. Right, we've got 50 minutes. We would have had 2 hours. Say for example, if you were doing a bench press and you've got loads of fears on the bench press that you're going to drop it on your chest.
Why is everyone so scared of everything, Karen? You talked twice about fear now.
All right, okay.
The only thing I'm scared of is spiders and being awake.
Being awake.
Spiders
being awake or being at awake? Or
no, being at awake. I don't care about
at your own wake.
I'd be more than happy being in my own wake.
So basically, all right, okay. So say you're doing the Audi TT race. Say you become a really, really, really good.
The Audi TT race or the Isle of Man TT race. I don't know what the Audi TT race is, but it's probably a lot of
Isle of Man.
Probably a lot of hairdressers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Audi TT race.
For you.
Right. So you're saying you're doing the TT racing on the Isle of Man, right?
Okay.
And obviously you've come off your bike in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I know where you're going. Yeah.
And they're obviously like you're an elite level rider.
Yeah.
You're an elite level dick rider, and you've got to take these corners at speed. But imagine if after your accident you became a bit cautious after you approach, say, cornering at 130 miles an hour or something, whatever you were doing.
I was a 40 zone, 40 miles an hour exactly.
So you become, every time you get past 40, it's like brings back flashbacks, and you kind of. So what you would do in NLP, you would pick a couple of adjectives.
Cock.
No, that's actually a noun.
Oh yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, no, if you're a cock, what's an adjective?
It's a noun. An adjective is a descriptive word.
You're a cock.
Cock-like would be an adjective.
Okay, cock-like, right, fair enough.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I can see.
So how about penis-like? Because a penis is strong and sturdy, isn't it?
Veiny.
Strong and stable. A penis is strong and stable. Yeah.
Have you switched? You used to be telling me the story. Go on.
Right. Okay. So a penis is strong and stable, just like you'd want to be.
Stable. Well, you want to
just like you'd want to be strong and stable around the corner, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Right. Okay. What you would do in NLP is it's ingraining those 2 adjectives in your mind by repeating them over and over and over again, right? And what that does is it blocks out any other thought. Yeah? Right? So that's NLP, right? Okay. So what I'm saying is, we've kind of gone off on a tangent, but there's a woman, Theresa May, there's someone...
Have you got a thing for Theresa May? Have you been living around Geordie too long and you just want to posh
She's brainwashing. She's brainwashed me.
Okay, with her NLP.
Yeah, with her NLP. So anyway, she keeps saying this strong and stable stuff over and over and over again. And basically what she's doing is she's brainwashing us.
Yeah, well, that's kind of it.
Yeah, but the thing is...
I had a name, but
the thing is, though, it's like so... I might be like looking far too deeply into this, but do you not think it's like, to anyone who's ever done the NLP and has ever seen that technique used and heard of that technique used, it's kind of like, fucking hell, how stupid do you think we are?
Yeah, but not many people in terms of percentage of the population have probably done that.
Well, probably not.
Well, I know, yeah.
But do you reckon like the...
But I don't think you need to do an NLP or whatever it's called to know that.
Well, no.
But that's what she's
no, it's one of the most simple techniques in NLP, like just repeating things to...
Yeah.
You know.
But all I was going to start with saying is, and I'd got sidetracked by saying that we're saying viewers when really should be listeners, is a lot has changed with Big Tom, Big Al.
Well, a lot's changed with Bigger Al, I guess.
Well, Big Tom as well, because
Really?
yeah, I had a few things planned, and then I monged out and couldn't do them. Not long after when I thought I had a stroke.
Oh yeah.
When I didn't have a stroke, but and then that's only a small thing, but that kind of threw me off for a few months.
Stroke is only a minor event in anyone's life.
But then what happened? I think we should talk about what's happened with Big Al since October 2016 to we're in now June 2017.
Yeah. Do you want me to give you a brief timeline?
We'll give a brief timeline. Would be good. Yeah.
So I believe in October. I don't know if
we might explain why we're in the studio in Newcastle.
Yeah. I don't know if I realised that if I knew in October.
When you realised what?
I don't know when I actually knew that Amy was pregnant. I think it might have been October or September.
It was early October we did it.
Yeah.
So it's probably mid to late October.
But I didn't announce it then, obviously, because you don't announce till 12 weeks, do you? That's typically.
No, you don't.
Anyway, right. So, so pretty much around the time that we did our last podcast, found out Amy was pregnant. I, at the time, was not earning much money, either as a PT or whatever, aside from that. And she was in a job which looked like it was about to end because the company was absolutely shit. It was called Think Money. And basically they just take people on and then sack them one by one. They take like 10 people at a time, train them, and then sack them. It's like a weird thing. Maybe they need to be seen to be, I don't know, recruiting or something at some point, and then
you'd probably keep the odd ones. Brilliant.
Yeah. Not to say that my girlfriend's not brilliant.
No, but your girlfriend might be very good.
Yes.
Might not be brilliant. That's for you to
I don't think she liked the job anyway. But anyway, then we were kind of like a panic situation whereby no money would be coming in. We knew she was pregnant, and then like I had this.
I did spend her out.
I had this kind of a hazy view that Newcastle was this somehow
don't eliminate every Jordan.
Angelic, kind of an idyllic place that would solve all of our problems. It was a really good place to bring a kid up in, because it's a smaller place. It's got more greenery around it. The people were apparently nicer. Less chavs. So anyway, I found a job. Well, pretty much as soon as I started looking, I'd been looking in the Manchester area too, and nothing was really coming through at all. And then the first job I applied for up here, I got a phone call the next couple of days that I would be, able to manage a gym, and so I took it. The wage was somewhat meagre, and but I took it anyway because it was an offer. It was the only offer I had. So I thought everything would be like hunky-dory and stuff. So I started the job. We moved up around January time, and that's kind of where we are now. Apart from I don't have that job anymore.
So you think you've hit rock bottom?
Yeah, I did.
There's a new one.
Yeah, I got a T-shirt though for my redundancy payout.
Did you?
Yeah, got a T-shirt for my redundancy payout.
Was it like a promotional cheap one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So like a couple of quid on eBay.
Yeah, could do.
Keep you going for what? Half a day.
Yeah.
One meal.
One meal.
Well, then
one meal, and then I've got to think about what Amy and Logan are going to have.
Yeah, your little kid's called Logan.
Yeah.
Well, it's like me.
In fact, I think we've kind of underplayed the massive thing.
Yeah, you were talking about yourself more.
I was kind of talking about where I am personally in terms of career and why we moved up. So the next chapter, I guess, is my son, Logan Thomas Clark.
Real men have daughters. I have a daughter.
Well, whatever you want to think about that. Well, the thing is, yeah, real men have daughters, but then other men have sons, and they're the same age. So in 16, 17, 18 years, I swear to God, it's going to be so funny if Logan ends up macking your daughter, and then I will just tease you constantly.
Yeah, but you know, with this day and age, they'll grow up in a very different world than we did. Could end up at Stevie Max Logan
with a strap on.
Or with some newly created thing that some surgeons create free on NHS.
Well, maybe there'll be no need for them.
Well, maybe there's already no need for them.
There's not really, is there?
No, there's absolutely.
They provide the sperm, and that's all they're doing at the minute.
And then you've got robots coming. They'll do all that. Was it Boston Robotics? And them crazy scary robots that jump up and
Saw that on that was with Jocko,
whatever.
That was a Joe Rogan podcast with Jocko Wilco or whatever he's called. That was cool.
Those things. That means there's going to be no reason for them.
Yeah.
There'll be one guy. They'll have one like alpha male. They'll just extract sperm out of him. They'll change a few bits in the DNA, and he'll just populate the world.
I think that eventuality is possible, but I think it's just probably a Big Rick or the black version of Big Rick.
Have you seen Alien, the film Alien, or the series Alien?
No, you know what, mate? I've never watched one. I've watched Alien vs Predator, which was the worst one.
You haven't seen Alien? You can stop there. This is over. No more Big Tom, Big around.
Well, you're not allowed to leave this studio. Okay. I've set this up so that you're going to get raped. So anyway, so
but very quickly.
Can I just talk about my son a bit more?
You wouldn't get back to your son. We've got an hour. I'm just going to tell us about Alien.
Well, actually, that's why I've been getting a load of shit at home, because that's my attitude. We can get back to my son. We can get back to him. I've got other things to do. And then the arguments ensue.
I haven't had that yet. Although, getting back into doing jits, or should I say doing jits properly, starting to do jits properly, I'm on the house a lot.
Right.
So I get told off about you're working and then going to the jits and occasionally going to the gym.
Yep.
I know it doesn't look like I do jits at the gym. However, I do.
Well, nothing looks. People who do jits don't look like they do anything, do they? No offense to them, but it's like it's just a sport.
I don't run in now and choke you. But they tend to look like they're just like computers.
Well, a lot of them do. Who was it? You know what? We're going back to the Jocko Wilco podcast again.
They
were described as
nerds or something.
Assassin nerds.
Assassin nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which it requires a lot, because I know absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things about jits.
You've done judo though.
I've done judo.
It all comes from judo.
Yeah, but judo is a much simpler sport.
Oh yeah.
It's more athletic, more fast paced, and it's less cerebral. Jiu-jitsu is mega cerebral.
Yeah, that's why the guy who I'm doing this with is very intelligent guy, scarily intelligent.
And I was gonna say actually on that point, I don't want to keep going on about him like I'm stalking him or anything, but I saw he put a post up the other day, and that was about robots.
Yeah.
Did you read the article?
No, I didn't read it.
His company, or if he does end up watching this, which I don't think he will, I'm sorry about mentioning you, but you did share it on your Facebook, and I found the article really interesting. His wife's company that he's part ownership with, they've sacked the sales team and replaced them with robots, apparently. Read the article.
I'll read the article.
I don't know if the actual robots
doesn't sound right.
They've replaced them with AI.
I think they want to replace them with AI.
No, they've replaced them. They've sacked the sales team. They said they sacked the sales team because the sales team were just
about a company we know nothing about.
Because we don't know anything about the company, but I read the article.
Very argumentative since you've been in Newcastle.
I think it's
a fluoride fucking your pineal gland.
I think that might be the testosterone.
Yeah, I'm just taking so much testosterone on that I don't know where I am right now. I just want to kill everything.
Why I
just want to kill or fuck you. That's it. So we'll talk about Logan some more.
So Logan was born on the 20th.
By the way, can I just reiterate? Unusual name.
Not really.
But I don't have a leg to stand on because I named my girl Steve.
After a boy.
Yeah, so I didn't have much say in the naming process, although I quite like the name. But we both named our children quite unusual names.
I think that's because we're quite unusual guys.
I think you just were hoping that when he got older, he'd go like that and that would shoot out his hands.
Well, actually, I've always looked at Wolverine all the way through my life. I watched the X-Men cartoons when I was very, very young, and Wolverine was my favourite. I like kind of his rugged, kind of cynical.
Did you fancy him?
Nature. I did fancy him a bit. I had a bit of a man crush when I was a child, and
I often
used to masturbate. I always used to masturbate and think got caught when I've always looked up to Logan as in Wolverine. Not looked up to him, but he's always been a cool guy. Do you know what I mean? I always liked what he.
You're going to make sure that your Logan has massive sideburns.
Well, no, but I just like the name anyway. I've only ever known one person called Logan. He used to live on my street, and he's never been enough of a knobhead
to hate the name.
For me to be put off the name. And that's what you look for, isn't it? When you are naming your child, you will often be put off naming him or her based on the fact that like you knew someone called John who was like a dickhead.
Miserable kid who thought he could write a book. Thought he knew how to write a book, and there were no pictures of me in it, so I'm not fucking reading it.
Yeah, and then his middle name, Logan Thomas Clark. Thomas being the middle name is after you, so you better. Every time that I think you might be going to let me down, I
think about changing the name.
I get preemptively disappointed. We've not registered him yet, so I could change the name. But I get preemptively disappointed in you.
Does this mean that I should have named Stevie Alexandra?
Well, I actually suggested that many times.
You did suggest it many times, but I didn't really have a say. I said suggest how you name it.
That's the problem, isn't it? That's going back to men being inferior these days. We don't have a say.
Well, you think I should have beat her and said, call Rocky Firefist like I want?
No, I think Stevie's probably better.
No, it's not.
So
Logan and Stevie are not better than Rocky Firefist as a name.
Why Rocky Firefist?
Well, Rocky, good name. Firefist. No one's going to mess with someone with the name Firefist. And then I wanted to change my name to Van Damme, so it'd be Rocky Firefist Van Damme.
Okay.
You're not going to mess with someone called Rocky Firefist Van Damme.
How about Van Bates?
That might work.
Van Beethoven.
Fucking hell. So now we find ourselves in the you find yourself in the northeast. I popped up to say hello when we decided to do a podcast here.
Yeah, we're gonna have a beer after this.
Yeah. So you're in the northeast. You have a child.
Yeah.
So Big Tom
he is like
a struggle to have a regular thing going because you just deserted me and moved up north. Is that Logan? He's talking quick.
He is talking pretty quickly. Yeah. Aren't these shoes meant to be soundproof?
Shoes are meant to be soundproof. Although this one, not so.
I've heard that if you put egg boxes on the walls,
you eat a lot of eggs, but you're not going to get through enough eggs in the next 45 minutes to soundproof this room.
So yeah, just I mean, I won't bore people, I guess, with my experience.
How you finding fatherhood?
How am I finding fatherhood? You know what? Almost surreal. I wouldn't say scary. I think it's probably like a little bit more of a weird thing for a dad because it was weird because as soon as Amy had him, she went into maternal mode, like snap, boom, she's mum.
Right.
Whereas like I think being a dad, you have to learn everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it comes slowly. I think
it comes slowly as a dad. Like the main thing I love about it at the minute, because obviously when newborns there's not as much of a connection because they have their eyes closed a lot of the time because they're sleeping, and if they don't have their eyes closed as they're sleeping, they're wriggling about and they're crying because they've got colic and this, that and the other. But when he has his eyes open, there's like a real connection there that's like really, really weird. Do you know what I mean?
On the same level IQ wise.
Yeah, he's probably got a greater IQ than I have. I'm trying to extract some IQ points out of him, like
try and learn from him.
Trans whatever.
Yeah.
Like
trans. But you're not finding it too daunting, really.
I find it a bit daunting. Like today, for example, the only thing that it changes. I'm a really selfish person. I'll admit that. In terms of like, I really love freedom. Does that make sense?
No, I think I'm probably
like I love to be able to like in the morning go, I'm going to do this today.
Yeah.
And then go and do it. But you know what I mean? Or even just like within like the case of like something happening in 5 minutes, like right, I'm going to go and make a cup of tea. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to just reply to these emails. But if he needs changing, he needs changing. I think it will be good for me in that it will strip that selfish part away if I do it properly. And it will teach me a lot of balance because I actually wrote an editorial in British Strength magazine issue. Ooh, it's going back a bit now actually because
British Strength magazine issue 5.
Issue number 7 it was.
Number 7.
Issue number 7 with Sabrina Moore on the cover. I wrote an editorial about how a lot of people do get into parenthood and they lose the person that they were before that. So they lose all the hobbies, and they kind of, it's almost as if like they see being a dad and being a mum as the only thing you can be, which is great if you're a great dad or a great mum. But I think what kids are losing somewhere these days is a male role model, and that probably sounds arrogant for me to say I'm going to be a great role model, but I think your son, great male role model is a male that can be distinguished from the mother. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like some of this, I mean, it may be because it's only my field, but obviously being active and training and things like that are big parts of my life. Yeah, right. Or any sport, right? Any sport. I've learned to be able to appreciate kind of any sport. If you're active, then I have respect for you, because it's for example, like when the term gymnasium is, I believe, an old Greek word, and it's used to describe a place where people not only get better physically, but they go to learn as well. That's what gymnasiums used to be in Greek times, apparently. So
I'm thinking of
people these days, they just go for the mental side, and they go for their desk jobs, they go to the work, they do a bit of reading, and they listen to the radio, and they become all clued up and stuff. But like, we get our kids to do sports, but we never actually do the sports with them. Do you know what I mean? We probably never go to the park and kick a ball around. You know what I mean? Like, even our mate John's a really good example of someone who does take part. Like he said, I remember he put a status up, or he told us about when he went to the trampoline places. These trampoline places becoming really popular. Took his son there. Son was bouncing around on the trampoline, so John went and had a go bouncing around, playing with is always one of those terms that playing with, actually playing with.
Yeah, let's get past that. It could be on a rabbit hole.
Yeah, but and apparently all the other dads were just sat around the sidelines, and it's kind of like, well,
I so want to go to one of them.
Oh yeah,
I don't want the kids to come with me. I just want to be on my own and play on a trampoline. I could stay all day.
That would be pretty fun, wouldn't it?
I got packed lunch.
So what I'm saying is, you question why all the other dads were just sat there not doing anything.
They're just dead inside.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point in terms of, I don't know where my point came from, but I'm basically saying there's a selfish side of me that just wants to eat, sleep, and train, and maybe like write articles in my magazine. But I think in some ways that selfish side needs to stay, because I want to be like, I don't want to inspire people in general. Not at all. I'm not so arrogant to think that is my calling in life, as a lot of these Instagram celebrities do. Like, I'm here to inspire and all that crap. But you do need to inspire your own kid. Yeah. You need to be a hero or a role model for your own kid, and like, it's just, that's the way it should be, isn't it?
So what you're saying basically is get a cape.
Get a cape. Go to Cape Town. Get a cape.
Get a cape.
Because that's what they're doing.
Stand
in Cape
on
Town,
buildings.
Isn't it? You just sell capes.
That's all it is. Town for cape. Stand on a building with a cape while the moon's behind you.
Batman.
Just looking cool.
Batman, yeah.
Inspire your kid, be a hero.
Well, that's what the single dad people did, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What they used to.
Fathers for Justice.
Fathers for Justice. Yeah,
they did.
Did that get them anywhere? Didn't one of them break into Buckingham Palace, or he got onto the grounds?
I think Batman did do that. It could have actually been Christian Bale, for all we know.
Is he a single dad?
I doubt he's single. He's very rich. You don't see many rich men that are single.
Okay.
Well, you do.
Do you think he's separated from the mother?
Yeah.
I think he's separated from a lot of the mothers of the children that his father, because he's probably maxed so many bitches and got so many of them pregnant that he's inevitably separated, unless he gets all these women to live in his mansion with him, and he just maxes them all the time, and all these kids are running about.
So he's like a cross between Dan Bilzerian and
you or me, like a family man, but like family man to many families.
All the families with him. I've got to apologise because I'm fading rapidly, and the reason is that on the journey up here, I ate a full bag of sweets to myself, and I'm having the crash right now. I just felt after about 5 minutes after we started, I thought, oh no.
Funny thing is, I also had a full bag of sweets.
You're not crashing?
No, because I think that by training I did. I've just got back into training as well. I had 2 weeks off after Logan was born.
2 weeks off and I'm back into training. Not many people say that.
What do you mean? Oh, do you mean it's not that long of a layoff in the grand scheme? Well, it was long enough for me to detrain a little bit. Jesus Christ, I went weak as fuck.
Really?
Yeah, because there was no supplementation happening for the 10 weeks previous to that.
When you say supplementation,
I can't clarify what that means.
Could be just sweets.
Could be creatine, right?
Oh, strong creatine.
Strong creatine.
You're talking about maybe black market creatine.
Yeah, black market creatine. There was none of that, and there was no training. So just, when I find myself in a situation like that, I detrain very quickly, so I need to keep the training up if they're in the absence of creatine. So I've just kind of got back into it, had so much DOMs last week, and I'm shooting for big things powerlifting-wise. I've adapted my training plan to fatherhood as well.
You're going to bench load?
No. I've done it so that my workouts are a little bit quicker, and there's one workout that I can do just like any shit gym around the corner that I can just go in, out.
Wait, where are you training now? Are you training the place you worked?
Yeah, I'm training the place at the place I got made redundant from. In fact, no, the place I used to work behind the desk has now changed its name. It's called Valor Health. Not Valor Health. It's not to be confused with Valor Health, where everyone has to wear Valor to train in. It's under new management, new ownership. There's a shop, R Protein, at the bottom.
Yeah, protein. R protein.
R Protein.
Or our protein. Not R
Protein.
Not R protein.
That was fucking Scouse.
Yeah.
Are you doing Mancor Scouse?
I don't know what I'm doing.
R Protein.
I'm doing a general Scally saying, hey, R kid. R kid, R protein.
R Protein.
Yeah. But it's
Anyway.
R as in R.
R Protein, yeah. Could stand for
R for radio.
Roger.
Rogers
Protein.
Rogers Protein. Okay, so you work for Rogers Protein.
No, I'm PTing now, personal training out of Valor Health, out of Valor Health. That's not going too badly at the minute, and the client numbers are on the up, thank fucking God, otherwise I'd be completely skinned.
Okay, so you're going to work out of your PT?
Yeah, I already am, mate. I guess I can say it now. There's a new website coming soon, powerfultrainingsystems.com. That's the rebrand. I'm working with another person on it so that things marketing and sales wise actually get done properly, and even website design wise get done properly. So that will be coming very, very, very soon, hopefully. Cool. So it needed to happen, and I think maybe when you've got no other options, that it has to happen. It kind of forces you to happen. I think that's the type of person that you and I both are.
You don't get kicked up the arse, you're not doing it.
Yeah. I was listening to Elliot Hulse talk about this.
Breathe into your balls, man.
No, he was saying that most people are not motivated by a goal when they're comfortable. They have to become very, 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 in a very uncomfortable place, thrust into a bad situation. They have to be running away from something to get somewhere rather than just be running towards something. Apparently, but this goes back to NLP as well. When I was in the NLP seminar, apparently towards goals, if you have a towards goal, you will have a greater chance of success than having an away goal like, I don't want to look shit kind of thing, in terms of like getting abs or whatever. It might be different in fitness and stuff, but I think in life sometimes away from goals are actually better. Like, I'm scared of losing my house, so therefore I have to drum up more business, for example.
I personally think that's probably stronger.
For guys like you and me, because we're very similar, and we, not like many other people, maybe it's...
Yeah, I think we're different. I don't know.
I think we are different because I feel like you're like a kindred spirit to me, and I don't get the connection that I have with you with many other people.
This is getting really gay.
It's getting really gay, but I'm just putting my cards on the table.
I'm not going to put it on my own knee again, like in the last one.
What about if I put it slightly higher up?
You've got a lot higher up than my knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a little bit higher.
Oh.
I'm not.
Yeah, but it's adequate, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it does the job.
Does the job.
I've never had any complaints.
No, and you enjoy it.
Well,
that's the main thing.
I enjoy it. Of course, yeah.
So enough about me. This is probably the most I've ever talked in my life, actually.
Well, yeah, but you've had a lot of change and upheaval, whereas I haven't. I basically put my life on hold for a few months, and then
life on hold? In what way?
I didn't put my life on hold, but I had a few things planned, and they all went on the back burner.
So we're talking the skydiving.
Yeah, but after my health scare.
Right. So.
Which is not an interesting thing to in itself, but a few things I had planned go on the back burner.
So just go through the health scare really quickly. What happened? You were at home one night.
Well, it's not a very interesting story, so I'm not going to go through it. But afterwards, I thought maybe because of my family history that I had a TIA, mini stroke,
right.
And I hadn't, but I had symptoms that were very similar.
Yeah.
And so there's a few. I obviously stopped training. I was back in the gym training heavy at that point. Stopped doing that. When was it? It was late on. No, it was actually on my birthday, the weekend of my birthday. So yeah, I put the skydiving on hold. I was planning on doing that. I decided not to do any more stand up for a while because that was quite a stressful thing to do. Mm-hmm. And as usual with me, it takes me many months to get the wheels rolling again. So I'm fully planning on getting some more stand up going, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm fully intent on doing skydiving. It hasn't happened yet. But I did get back in. Since then, I've got back into doing some grappling. But doing it properly.
Very nice. With the gi?
With the gi, although with bloody pyjama fighting. And dear Lord doesn't make a difference. Because I've done bits of everything, haven't I? I've done bits of wrestling, bits of catch wrestling, bits of no-gi jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to call it. There's many different names for it these days. Japanese jiu-jitsu, all sorts. But I'd done a little bit in the gi, but it was years ago, probably about 10, 11 years ago. No, maybe 10, 11 years ago, maybe even longer actually. But I didn't do it for long. And I was just not interested in doing the gi. And I don't know why. But one of my mates has been doing the gi for a while. And I saw how much he'd improved. He was always going on saying, if you want to be a good grappler, you've got to do it in the gi. And I was always arguing, slightly in jest, but that's bullshit.
Yeah, that was John Cockmer.
Yeah. And he
is he down at SBG with you, by the way?
No. He's GFT in Halo. But he's really good. He's only a little guy. He's a tiny guy. He's got no strength, but he's very good with his grip. He's very good. His no-gi game, I don't think, has come on a hell of a lot. But his gi game is getting really good. And I went around to see him one day, and as often the way when I'm ever around him, we start grappling. And I was shocked with how much he'd come on. And all the best grapplers in the world are heavily into the gi. They probably, the vast majority are mainly gi guys. There's the Danaher Death Squad, who are, I think, predominantly no-gi, who seem to be cleaning up a lot at the moment. But apart from those guys, most of the best grapplers tend to be gi guys. So I thought, you know what, it's about time. And this kind of coincided with me kind of realising I think I was approaching 17 stone in weight, which is what, probably
242, I believe it is.
So yeah, I'm getting on.
No, that's wrong. 238.
Okay, so I'm about 240-ish.
Yeah.
Ish, and I'm only 5'8", so I'm overweight.
You're a chode.
I'm a chode. Yeah. I thought a chode was a small dick.
No, a chode is a short, fat penis.
Oh right, so okay, thanks. That's nice. So anyway, so with me having this health care, I thought, do you know what? I've got a kid. I want to be around. I need to get fit, and I fucking hate cardio. I actually hate. I used to be really in my teens. I used to run for Berry Athletics Club. I used to be fit. I used to be healthy. I used to be a quick runner, and that's gone. I hate cardio. So I thought, what is the only way of me doing cardio that I enjoy? And it's grappling. So I thought, well, the trouble I've always had is weight training's come first, grappling's come second, and every time I get injured, because I'm not doing creatine, so I don't repair very well. You know, I don't repair. I know you always take the piss.
I do take the piss, yeah.
But I don't seem to repair quickly. I'm not into just taking mass amounts of creatine. So when I'm doing a lot of lifting and a lot of grappling, I just got injured all the time, constantly. I was sick of it. So the thing that went was the grappling. Because weight training was always my first love.
You know, before you go on, can I just give a shout out to a guy who I think could maybe fix you? He's from around here. He's called Steve Dodd, Northeast Body Mechanic. search for it on Facebook. He does like real
panel beating. He does furniture alloys.
Although I do sometimes. No, I'm going to be really, really serious and not say what his nickname is. But his stuff is quite revolutionary in terms of how he treats people.
Really, yeah.
If any the strength enthusiasts are watching, listening, it's very similar to the stuff that Christopher preaches in terms of they get into the actual root cause of the injury, like why something's gone wrong, rather than just like, oh, let's massage that because it hurts. It's called NKT, what it does, which is neurokinetic therapy, I believe. Anyway, carry on. So you do get injured a lot.
Yeah, but it's always the grappling that went. So I was always on and off with grappling. So I suppose to someone who's never grappled, I've done a lot of grappling. To someone who's, say, a brown belt or black belt, I've done very little grappling. But I was always on and off with it from 16. I don't know, you can't really, to be honest, you can't call Japanese jiu-jitsu grappling any sort of lie. It was later than that I got into grappling, but I've always been on and off with it. And like I said, it always was a backseat to the lifting, or training in the gym anyway. So, and I just got to the point where I thought, well, I know already from years of trying that I can't do a lot of grappling and a lot of lifting. And I need longevity, I need to be around. Like you were saying, you want to go down and play football with your kid. If I carry on the way I'm going with my joints messed up and my muscles messed up and all that, and having no energy and being overweight, and then I'm not going to be able to do all them things.
No, because you'd be like, oh, just go and play on your PlayStation.
Go play your PlayStation. Don't I know your dad? I've got some lifting to do.
No, it wouldn't even be that. It'd be, oh, I'm watching telly. Go and play on your PlayStation. Yeah.
So I thought, right, well, it's about time. And to be honest, it was a couple of weeks after it happened when I did all the tests. I did the MRIs, the CT scans, Doppler scans, blood test after blood test after blood test, and the specialist was saying, listen, we don't know what's happened. Maybe it was a seizure, but it wasn't a TIA. I thought, right, that's it. I need to get into something cardio. I need to do something athletic. So I thought I'll get a gi. And that's when I found out there was a guy really local to me. Do you know how lazy I am, Alex?
Yeah.
And if I have to travel, like
today,
the fact that I came into the city centre, I was cursing you because I was like, fucking hate cities. No, if someone ever wants to meet me or do anything with me and they arrange it in the city, I'm probably going to duck out.
Well, yeah, but
so it's good if you didn't tell me it was in the city.
No, it's good job I didn't tell you.
Because I probably wouldn't have
for the purpose of today.
Yeah.
It's probably not advantageous to you, but I feel that if you ever want if you want to meet an open-minded person around these parts, you've got to go into the fucking city.
Oh yeah, here it might be the case. I suppose it's the case in a lot of places, but I do hate cities. And there's a lot of clubs, martial arts clubs, all Thai boxing, wrestling, jits, MMA, everything in the cities. But they're I just can't be able to. I hate traffic. I hate travelling. I hate cities.
Well, it's going to be like an hour commute either way.
Yeah.
And then
especially if you're doing it in rush hour.
And it's just maybe it's fate that you found this guy that
so find someone local who's fucking brilliant, so intelligent, so cerebral with it all. Which because I'm a bit of a big unit and I do obviously still muscle everything, even though I try not to. It's working out okay at the moment. But I was going to go straight away, and then I found out Jess had bought me a gi for Christmas, and I was like, well, that's great, saved me buying a gi because the price is in the
How much do you think it would cost?
Oh no, so I've got about 3 now. So they're about, anything from about 50 quid to a couple of hundred, depending on what you spend. I think she bought me one that was about 90 quid.
That's sport these days, isn't it?
It's
all expensive.
But anyway, so I was like, well, that's great, but now I've kind of got to wait till Christmas. Because if I go and buy one myself, as I nearly did, she goes, no, but I'm going to Christmas. I was like, well, I'll wait till Christmas, and then I'll go. But on that, and then that led to me managing to get across to Portland. Oregon. What a place. So if you don't move back to Manchester soon, I'm just going to move to Portland.
Ooh. Don't, you can't move away, I'm sorry.
You're going to have to come back to Manchester. But what a place. Oregon and Portland are just unbelievable. Beautiful. But I went there to do that seminar with Ixon Gracie.
And you know what, I've not really asked you much about your interaction with him. Because obviously he's someone you've probably looked up to for ages. I just kind of vaguely know that he's a very important person in the world of jiu-jitsu. What was your take on him and meeting him? Was it cool? Was it?
He's a killer, isn't he? Like all the Gracie family. Absolute monster. But, I say monster metaphorically as
Not the biggest guy, is he?
No, I think he competed about 190 something.
So 14 stone.
I think he was below 200.
Yeah,
pounds.
So he'd be about 85 kilos.
Yeah, so he's not a small guy. He's not tiny, but he was ahead of his time. He was into the breathing, the yoga, flexibility, all that kind of stuff, and the strength and conditioning. And he was always known as being, the man in the Gracie family. All the Gracies spoke about him as being, the best, if you like.
Right.
He only had, I think, I might be wrong, I think he only had 13 professional fights, obviously won them all. But he's a legend. It's like, I suppose in a weird way, he's like maybe like the Muhammad Ali of boxing or something, or, you know what I mean? He's a legend. Some people, if they've been exceptionally critical and what have you, might say he's almost irrelevant these days because of the sport.
How does he, right, like, I'm a layman, right? How does he compare to, is it Hoist?
Oh, way better.
He's way better.
Yeah, Hoist will tell you that.
Right.
Hoist always said, you think I'm good, you should see the brother hits and he batters me every time. Yeah, he's unreal. And his son Kron is as good as he gets in jiu-jitsu now. But very, he's slightly, I might be unfair to say this, but he's ever so slightly derogatory to the new wave of jiu-jitsu in the berimbolas and basically all the fancy stuff in jiu-jitsu, which does work, but it really only works in grappling. It would work on someone who doesn't know anything. It would work in a pure grappling match if you're good at doing it. But in a real fight, would it work? Well, it may not.
See, because I think on my old Instagram account, I used to follow something like Jiu-Jitsu Moves Daily, and things are being thought up daily, and there was loads of really fancy shit there, which looked very cool.
Some of it clearly works. Some of it's a bit like Kron strikes me as the kind of person who does all the basics.
Thomas, can we not actually press pause, but can we pause that conversation? Because I'm going to have to go and see if I can pay that guy for another half hour. Because we've gone over our time.
Well, we can stop it there.
Or I could just pay him for another half hour.
Yeah, but then I've got to edit this out.
No, you don't have to edit it out.
I do, because it's just...
It's not. What about when they go for pisses on podcasts?
Yeah, but I'm not going to start sitting and talk on my own. There's always someone to talk to. You've got Jamie to talk to on Joe Rogan, or you've got... In fact, I don't see it happening.
Tell them about the bar.
Well, the bar. 1975. Just hurry up. I'll just be on my phone. You're alright. You feel like you took the door off his interview. Sorted?
Sorted.
I didn't entertain the audience. I just went on my phone.
Beers are on you.
Yeah. So anyway, what was I think I was saying that Kron is known to be just a basics guy, and that's not a slant on him at all. He does the basics so well you can't stop it almost.
Yeah.
You know what's coming, but you know he's going to really choke you, but you're not going to stop it. That kind of.
Well, I think
kind of guy.
I think that's kind of like the best in most sports, in that like people will...
Well, you get the outliers, don't you, who can do the fancy shit
and
nail good people with it, but it's very rare.
And it's kind of, in terms of the training methods as well, people try and skirt around the issues that they're not very good by doing like random shit or stuff like, a lot of stuff which doesn't pertain to the key skills.
Yeah. You see an obstacle, instead of going through it, you find a way to go around it. Yeah.
Or they'll create a niche for themselves that way, but at the same time,
and that's not
competition is what counts.
Well, that's not to take away, because some of these guys who do all this fancy shit do really well in really high level competition.
Well, so it's like it's a very vague statement to make.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's like a generic thing, but it's so me and Hickson was kind of cool because obviously I didn't have much interaction with him. We had a photo at the end, briefly introduced, said hello, listened to what he had to say. But I think most of his principles are just basic, and he's very big on breathing. We were talking about how when he fought he would try and get his heart rate down, he'd try and get his breathing slow. So that when he upped it, he knew that guy he was fighting, he was at a high level already, and heart rate and breathing. And yeah, it's basic stuff. And when you think about what he showed us, it was some really simple stuff, but yeah, can't fault it. It works brilliantly. But it's really fascinating to go there, and it's where kind of the whole of SPG, Matt Thornton, who started SPG there.
So is SPG like a worldwide jiu-jitsu coaching?
Just a gym. It's like a chain. Chain might be, yeah. Chain probably couldn't too fine a slant on it, but it's it's a chain of gyms. I can't think of another off the top of my head, but Gracie Barra, they're all over the world. Yeah.
We actually had one of those above Olympic, like directly above Olympic.
Oh really?
Imagine if I would have decided that like lifting weights was not for me. It would have been so easy just to go after a shit.
Probably should have done.
I probably should have done as well as lifting weights. Knowing me, like I would have made the decision and then like snap the ligaments in my knee, but I should have learned a bit. I should have got some privates. The only problem is I can't even really afford them now, but they're pricey, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a pricey thing to get privates, but it's a good thing to do to try and build a basic knowledge, quickly. I enjoy it, and I have been told of a few people that have lost weight, so I don't know if I have. The scales aren't telling me I've lost much weight, but I feel a bit healthier. I'm a little bit leaner.
Yeah, you definitely aren't yo-yoing like you were.
Yeah,
I'm used to yo-yo quite a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, well that was more through laziness. Like I'd lift and I'd eat for a prolonged period of time, and then if I got injured or something, I'm like, I can't be asked to do this week. And then if I didn't go to the gym, I didn't get hungry, so I didn't eat.
Right.
And that's why I do. Yeah, but I recommend Portland, Oregon to any human being alive on the planet.
Tell us about Portland, Oregon. Why is it so good?
I didn't bring the weed, the edibles.
Ah, damn.
Because I had edibles there, because it's all legal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of CBD oil now. I know that is technically legal in the UK anyway, but I never bothered even looking into it. And kind of through watching podcasts, through reading things on Facebook and on social media, you kind of get more turned on to the idea that there's a lot of benefits in this plant. And so I thought, I should get myself some CBD oil. But then only when you're there, you can just walk in the shop and get it. Because I'm not into vaping and all that shit. I'm convinced that when you burn shit and inhaling it and you don't know where it's come from, you're a bit like, it could be good for me.
I'm not into vaping because it doesn't look very cool.
And it is a bit gay.
Yeah.
It's a little bit gay.
I'd rather just fucking smoke and like shorten my life.
Yeah, it's probably a better idea. But so I'd never looked into CBDs when I've been here. So I went over there and we went to Oregon's Finest Weedery. It's a good shop. Yeah. And that's
what it's called.
Oregon's Finest is the name of it. It's called Weederys.
Okay. Right.
And went in there and got some edibles and got some CBD. And I've got to say the CBD does get rid of a lot of your aches and pains. I thought that's weird. Wow, my back's been fine for ages. I wonder what I'm doing differently. And then it dawned on me. Oh yeah, I've been taking CBD for weeks.
Okay.
So that's helps.
Well, of course, I wouldn't recommend that you send me some in the post.
CBD's legal, as long as there's no THC in it. But the one I had did have THC, but it's such a trace amount.
Right.
So I can't get it over here, that one. And then the other thing is, you look on eBay, they're so cheap, that you're like, where the fuck is that from? Is it from China? Has it got like lead paint in it?
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit, I've heard of I think it's called the CBD Brothers. I've been told is a reputable place to get it from over here. And I've not looked into it yet, but I need to.
Did you know that the Lib Dems manifesto had in it to legalise weed? Basically.
It should be legalised. I'll be honest, I don't like the smell of it. I think the smell, it's not as bad as cigarettes. Cigarettes is one of the worst smells on earth. But I think weed smells like shit. But it didn't smell quite as like shit over there, and I don't know why. Maybe I was in some romantic holiday state, or maybe it's better quality weed over there. I don't know. It didn't smell quite as horrific as I remember. But I still think it should be legal.
I quite like the smell of it, to be honest. Always have.
It should totally be legal.
Yeah, it should be legal, and as well, I think probably they've thought about this, but obviously the reason why governments aren't making it legal is because they can't tax it. But if they did make it legal, they made it regulated,
and
then they tax it, then that brings money in for the economy.
The reason they don't make it legal is because it fucks up the prescription drug industry. Because it replaces opiates. So they'd rather give you opiates. Yeah. Everyone makes money. You fuck your life up on opiates. rather than giving you a solution.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because this is my whole point about all the government election, the people that run things, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't want you to be better. They just want to make money. They want control and money. So don't give a shit whether you're okay. If you die tomorrow, so this is where people go like, oh, Labour love you. It's like, well, they love you a little bit more than the Tories do, but they don't love you really. They love you quite a bit more than the Tories do, but they don't love you. But we should be leaving. And so the edibles, but the edibles was, everyone was telling me, oh, don't go too deep with edibles. You wish you never did it. So I had half a gummy to start with. Felt very little. I felt like I'd had one drink, and then I had a full gummy the next time, and I felt like I'd had a couple of drinks. And then I thought, every other time I thought, well, I'm going to have to be driving later, or I thought I better not. So, well, I meant to bring them today so we could get high on the podcast, but then I realised I'd be driving home.
Yeah,
and that might not be a good idea.
Yeah, it's not because I mean, I've never eaten weed, and of course I have never smoked it either. Definitely not ever smoked it. No, but.
It's not, you're not going to go to prison for it.
Well, no, I'm not going to go to prison. I wouldn't want anyone to think any less of me than they already do. But
right, listen. If anyone listen, I don't like. You know, Jess was really into smoking weed, and I know a few people who've been really into smoking weed. And I think on a young brain, on a developing brain, it's a big no-no. That's my. I don't know that for a fact. But my belief
might
is.
Be why I'm fucked then.
Yeah, probably is. But I think kids and developing brains smoking weed is a bad thing. That's my hunch. But an adult smoking weed probably doesn't do any harm at all. And there's a lot of benefits, in the CBD side of it. So if someone's going to judge you as a piece of shit or something...
Well, no, I don't mind it if people judge me, but like, I'm not really so much scared of it now, but like, you've always had the advice of what you put on social media or media stays there, could come back and haunt. But at the same time, it's like, am I ever going to go for any one of those jobs? But let's just imagine that I smoked weed in the past, right?
Did creatine.
And did creatine still. You can carry on doing creatine. But anyway, I mean, the problem was like half the time I liked it, half the time I hated it. Like, I think that's why it should be legalized, because then the amount of CBD and the amount of THC, there's a balance, isn't there?
Yeah.
So you need that balance for a good trip. If there's not enough,
I don't know if you do. You might be right. I don't know.
I've read something like that. There's THC and there's something else.
Well, there's a lot of cannabinoids.
Cannabinoids.
There's a few different ones.
Right.
It might be CBD, but I didn't think it would.
It's the THC which gives you the good trip. Yeah.
I thought THC is psychoactive. CBD isn't psychoactive.
Right. Okay. Well, it's not CBD. The other one then.
Yeah.
But the THC, you want that higher concentration than the other thing, because it's the other thing which gives you. Makes you paranoid and makes your like heart palpitations and stuff. So I always used to have like good trip, bad trip. I was like, you know what, fuck this in the end, because it was just doing my head in.
We still need to do DMT. That is highly illegal.
That is highly illegal.
Never been linked with one case of one death or anything ever. It's highly illegal.
Yeah, I find that one really weird.
I
don't think they actually police it though.
Well, I don't know.
I think they've got much. I don't
know where you get pure DMT.
You'd have to get it on the dark web, wouldn't you?
See, this is what I want to know about the dark web. I'd like.
I don't know anything about it.
I'd love to like go on the dark web just to see what it's all about. But if you install it, which I believe you install the dark web, is it like you instantly flag up as some kind of drug dealing pedo or something?
Well, from what I understand, that's where all the pedos go, and that's where all the terrorists go. That's where they have to operate from.
So you're going to be in a bad crowd.
You've got to be in a bad crowd, aren't you? You're going to be. That's where you're going to be fucking people trafficking, terrorism, buying bits for bombs and shit like that. I can imagine.
So if I just want to get some DMT,
I'm sure you'll know someone who can get some DMT. Well, we both will. I'm sure.
Well, I know what you can do actually. I say I don't know where you can get DMT. I know where you can get ayahuasca. I know a website you can get ayahuasca.
Yeah, but the problem is we'd have to take like 3 or 4 days off each completely from life. Go to a hill somewhere and just like hike.
No, I don't think you have to do that.
No, you're ill for a couple of days. You shit yourself. And it's a longer experience than DMT.
DMT is about 15 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Ayahuasca is a couple of days.
Yeah.
We'll just take a couple of days off work. Or even better, don't take other days off work. Do it in work.
How are we meant to be parents while we're on ayahuasca?
That's a very good point.
Like crying our eyes out, like rocking back
Well,
and
the
forth.
universe doesn't love me like I thought it did. What do I do with my life? I don't think most people have bad trips on ayahuasca.
It takes you through. The thing is with ayahuasca, it takes you through like a spiritual journey, if you will. So good, bad, everything, crying, this, that, the other.
Hey, real men don't cry.
I think wasn't there a song like "Big Boys Don't Cry," something like that. Anyway, that's just. I remember
anything you say starts with big.
Big Johnsons.
Big Johnsons.
Anyway, let's just keep an eye on the time so that we don't get fined.
Fined? What is it? Like the law's different up here. The police are going to run in. You ran over your room time. That's a £60 on the spot.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure we could find some DMT. Maybe there's someone who's watching and go.
That's it. You know we can get a legitimate source of pure DMT, even though that's probably highly illegal. What we've just asked.
Not for us, of course.
Not for us. Don't let us know.
Nudge, wink, wink.
Don't let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Don't PM us.
Yeah.
But. Yeah. Or maybe that's what we meant.
We should do DMT on the podcast. 15 minutes, we could do it. It'd be fine.
We could have a trip each.
Yeah,
and we could
climb up the wall.
Yeah, we could mind each other.
I go first.
Then I'd go.
Then you watch the video back and see what the other person was doing to you.
Yeah, that would be fucking well. That'd get us more than 26 views per video.
By the way, in future podcasts, we need guests.
We do need guests. Good ones.
We need some guests. So, any ideas?
I've had some ideas.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Do you want to say them or do you want to leave it off air?
Shall we leave it off air for our little meeting after?
Meeting? Oh, yeah.
Team talk after.
Team bonding.
What do they call a post-match analysis?
What with Graham Souness?
Whoever he is, yeah.
You don't know who Graham Souness is?
He's a footballer, obviously.
Yeah, ex-footballer.
Commentator.
He's an ex-footballer and manager.
Overpaid commentator.
And that pundit, more than commentator.
Well, okay, fair enough.
Oh, gossip. Jamie Redknapp's having an affair.
Really?
You know who Jamie Redknapp is?
Ex-Liverpool player.
Yes, quite handsome looking young lad.
Yeah, didn't he used to have like curtains?
I think he did.
When everyone had curtains.
Actually, can I say allegedly? I've just realised this is going out on the internet.
Right.
Technically in a public forum.
Do you know him?
No, but I know a guy who knows a guy who said that he works. Well, let's just say he kind of works with Jamie Redknapp, and apparently, yeah.
Tell you what,
if Jamie Redknapp.
If Jamie Redknapp doesn't want more than 26 people to know this, he could get me a job with the strength and conditioning team of whichever football club he's currently with.
Just go with Liverpool, because that way you'll just do the wrong strength and conditioning for him. You'll try them more like deadlifting, more sticker deadlift, and then I'll be too stiff to run about. So
yeah.
go with
loads of hamstring tears.
Yeah. So if Liverpool are watching, this guy, deadlift king, he plays strong.
And Jamie Redknapp isn't having an affair.
Jamie Redknapp is not.
Definitely not. Definitely not putting his Johnson
Gary
about
Neville,
everywhere.
apparently, tosser.
Really?
He's from Bury, isn't it? You think he'd be down
who's the England manager? Is it Phil Neville or Gary Neville?
There's neither of them has managed England. Gareth Southgate.
Gareth Southgate, the guy who missed the penalty, right?
I don't know about him. He might be having an affair. Who knows? He could be doing whatever he wants. But yeah.
Do you think like? Oh God, I really hate to get into football. I don't hate to get into football. I only hate to get into football because I don't know anything about it. You know, like he missed that penalty in Euro '96,
yeah.
And like everyone probably secretly hated him for it.
Yeah.
Do you think like he still gets shit now, even though he's
no, because everyone that was watching, like I would have been like 16 at the time. I'm like mid-30s now, so I can't give a shit if he missed the penalty 20 years ago. If I saw him in the street, I'd go, no, he missed the penalty.
Okay, fair enough. It's because I don't know anything about football. That's all I know him for. I remember watching a game where he missed the penalty.
Well, at the time, he would have got loads of abuse.
Yeah.
But I think that's why England are crap at penalties. Because I bet it doesn't happen in other countries anywhere near the same. All right, fair enough. A Colombian defender scored an own goal and got shot dead.
Whoa.
Yeah, but I think that was to do with gambling.
Right.
I think the score was wrong. Oh, I shouldn't say the score wasn't very good English. The score wasn't what the people running the books wanted the score to be due to his own goal.
Oh, sure.
And he got killed. So not a good week for him. That was a long time ago. I think that might have been the fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but football. Passionate fans. Yeah, let's not get into football because I know you're not interested and we've got other things we can talk about.
Let's talk about the election.
Well, because I was hoping to do one before. We're going to talk about the. See, it seems to me like the election made no sense because the Tories got a bigger share of the vote in Scotland. So the SNP vote went to the Tories, which is unheard of. Scotland doesn't go Tory. And the UKIP vote, the apparent far-right racist crazy nutters, went to Labour in the UK, in England, sorry. So, because that's apparently what the Conservatives were praying for, or banking on, should I say, was the UKIP vote, because we're out of Europe now, the UKIP vote going to them. It makes sense. And it didn't. It went to Labour.
So what you're talking about is, I've kept more informed this time with the election than I have in previous years involved.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the seats which were Labour went to UKIP. Is that what
all the way? So UKIP, well, the share of the vote, it doesn't even have to be a seat, it's a share of the vote, isn't it? Right. So say if the Tories were a point behind Labour in a seat, I can't think of one off the top of my head, and then, but they had, that seat had a big UKIP support as well.
Yeah.
Even if UKIP didn't win the seat, maybe 10% of the electorate voted for UKIP in the last election. We're out of Europe now, UKIP's job is essentially done. They're a pointless party in a way now. Theoretically, there's more for that debate than I just said, but let's talk simplistically. So the Tories went, right, well, we're a point behind Labour in this seat, but there's 10 points with UKIP. Those UKIP guys, UKIP supporters vote for us, so we'll be 9 points ahead. Putting in the most simplistic term, we'll win that seat. It didn't happen. Labour got most of the UKIP vote.
That is odd because it's so.
Sense, because apparently everyone who voted for UKIP when the race is bigger.
Yeah.
But if you're not a racing bigger, you vote for Labour.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. But I think the Tories ran a terrible campaign.
Well, they did.
And I wonder why.
I mean,
you know me and my conspiracy.
I kept up to date with it on Radio 4, which is fucking boring sometimes.
It's a slow station.
It has like little glimmers of hope every now and again, where you'll find something really interesting.
Yeah.
But even a station which is typically quite Tory biased.
I think the BBC. Well, it's difficult with the BBC now. It was always quite the nationalistic propaganda channel.
Yeah.
But it seems a lot more left than it was.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know where the BBC.
Maybe it's in their interest for us to go left, to go really left and everything
maybe
unfold.
I'm very torn politically. I've never been.
I am as well. Like I was a big fan of Corbyn, or I still am a big fan of Corbyn as a person, and a lot of the ways he talks about sorting things out. A lot of his policies on the surface sound good, but again, they talk about this magic money tree, but at the same time, like, you know, I think like they can't be that stupid. They must have some type of economist working for them, you know, who they can like go, right, okay, well, is this feasible? Either that or they are doing more borrowing, and didn't they say that Labour got us into this mess, which caused the austerity, so it's not the curve.
Yeah, they did, but that's again, it's another simplicity. I mean, the Tories haven't cut the deficit. They've not
dragged us out.
They may have cut the deficit a bit, they may have increased the deficit a bit, but they've not moved it much.
Right.
You don't hear about it anymore.
Okay.
So why? That's the one question.
They want to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, and the media seem to as well. But I like Corbyn. I like him. I've met him. He's a cool guy. He's a genuine guy. He's an honest guy. I like the majority of politics. It's a nicer politics than the Tories. The average person will be better off. My only concern is this, and it seems to have come in from America in my eyes, I might be wrong, but this crazy far left drive. And that's what put me off voting for him. It's not him. I think, see, the far right are insane, but the far left, in my eyes, are insane. And virtually the same people.
Yep.
You know, they just got, you tweak to the far left a bit, they become the far right. You tweak the far right, they become the far left.
Yeah, and the problem is that the far left will never get vilified, because it's politically incorrect to vilify the far left.
Well, that's
if you vilify the far right, then you're a good person.
Now, the far right are terrible. They're scum.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a Nazi, you're fucking vermin, and you should be shouted down, and you should be.
And it shows like quite a low level of intelligence if you're very far.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't see that as a huge problem at the moment. Now, I'm not saying if people are far right, that is a problem. What I'm saying is
there are bigger problems which
I don't see the far right as in numbers a big issue.
No.
If anyone who is far right is a dick, but I don't think a lot of them. I don't think there's a lot.
They're not big in numbers, and they're not big in actual influence at the
moment. Yeah,
they have no influence at the minute.
I don't think they do.
If there was a big far right influence, then okay, more trouble would probably ensue in the UK.
Yeah.
Definitely at the minute.
It'd be terrible if there was. Don't get me wrong. It's something we have to guard against. There being a big far right contingent.
Yeah.
I don't see it. There are when that thing happened in Manchester, the bombing.
Yeah.
I saw one racist statement on Facebook. One was saying, "Oh, who can deport the laws and blah 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 blah." And I thought, well, that guy is a prick anyway. No one's listening to him. He's an uneducated, small town mentality moron, and he's put. But then this whole left movement.
Do you want to name and shame him?
No, there's no point. I don't like naming people on here because they're not here to talk about, defend themselves or give their point of view. But the prick. I've always known him as a prick. I've known him for a long time. I say I know him. I know him from school. I don't see him, speak to him. He just happens to be a friend on Facebook. He's a prick. He's got a stupid attitude. One I saw. That was it. But this far left thing that just went, like, protect the Muslims, which I only saw one person saying it was all Muslims. And then all this thing that happened, and I thought, this is the trouble. It misses the point and goes to being nice.
I feel like both
weird.
miss the point.
Yeah, so that's my point. The point is not all Muslims are bad.
No.
The point is most Muslims are nice people. But the point is there's a big minority that we need to deal with.
Yeah, and they are genuinely, from what I understand, getting their ideals from the scriptures, which are outdated, which are basically saying anyone who is an infidel the right word, should be fucking killed, basically. And I'm not saying that it's only the Quran which says that, because there are probably those teachings in Christianity and Judaism.
But it is easily possible to follow let's say a religion.
Yeah.
It's easily possible to follow a religion and to get the
good out of it.
To get the good out of it, but also to get the bad out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think we should tolerate and respect people's beliefs in made up fairy tales as much as we do.
They're all outdated, mate. Yeah. They're all fucking outdated.
And that's the problem. The argument's gone too left.
Yeah.
I'm quite
too
left.
Tolerant.
I think I'm left of centre. I've got some right views, I've got some left views, but on the whole I'm left.
I'm the same. I'm left of centre, and that's why I found it real. I'm left of centre, but I have some right views, some left views, and that's why I found it really. I had to go with Corbyn after reading the summaries of the manifestos and listening a bit. But I found it still really hard to vote for him because some of his policies do worry me in terms of, are we going to be overrun with refugees? And although I take sympathy on the refugees,
but the thing is, this is the other thing is, it's not. If anyone comes here, it's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
I do it
because we're creating a nice environment, but we're making it. I saw a video.
Cool.
Sorry, on Facebook the other day. Maybe I spent too much time there. But some bloke had died next to this woman who was taking the video. Old man had died, lived there for 40 years, 3-bedroom house. The refugees have been moved in. This 3-bedroom house. Obviously, none of them speak the language. None of them will have jobs or pay tax. They've ripped everything out of the house and just dumped it in the garden. So they're living next to this kind of shit garden with refugees next to them. And it's kind of like, well, it's a very attractive prospect for a refugee to come into this country and get that for nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's one hell of a step up.
But we don't take care of our own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm not. But then again, you see, people say, well, you can't, you've got to do something. You've got to do something to help these people.
Yeah.
But I think what's going on, see, I said this before to you, that when we can, and it's going to be oversimplified, so it's not going to, people might not necessarily agree with it straight away, but you talk about taking refugees in it, and you say, well, should we be doing this?
Yeah. And
you're instantly branded racist. Yet when we come up with some bullshit fucking reason to go to war, which creates the problems,
creates the refugees,
most people go, oh, we need to go to war.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to do it. Oh, we don't want to go to war, but we need to. No, we don't. We never need to go to war. We maybe needed to go to war once in our history, and that was maybe against the Germans.
Yeah.
And who knows how much of that was true or not, but it looks like we did. And that's one. Korean War we probably didn't need to go to. The Vietnam War, I know we didn't go, but we're definitely not needed.
Yeah.
The First World War seems like it wasn't needed from my limited knowledge of it. None of the Gulf Wars have been needed. The second Gulf War, they had weapons of mass destruction. Well, we knew they didn't. We knew they didn't.
Yeah.
At no point did anyone in government believe they had weapons of mass destruction. We didn't need to go to Afghanistan. We don't need to go to Syria. We don't need to bomb Syria. You know what I mean? If we're doing it, it's for money.
Yeah, well,
it's for money and influence.
The reason ISIS started, it probably would have started anyway, was going into Iraq.
Yeah.
We went into Iraq because we were told that we had WMDs. It's found out that we didn't have WMDs. George Bush and Tony Blair are still free, although they are fucking war criminals. Right? They should be tried for war crimes, and they're probably still fucking rich as fuck, and they are rich as fuck. And obviously that's how ISIS started, by destabilising that government, creating the environment for these smaller groups. Started at first, and then they joined into one, and this, that, and the other. Moved into Syria. Assad is then releasing jihadists from prison, who are all ISIS supporters, this, that, and the other, and he's destabilising his own fucking country, and now we have what we have.
I was talking to a guy he's a Muslim guy, and he was saying it all. And since I've talked to him, I've read in the media a few things that actually back up exactly what he was saying. A lot of it comes from Saudi Arabia. Is it Wahhabism? I might have that.
Yeah,
it's something like that. And then there's a very militant branch of Islam that comes out of Saudi Arabia. But it's that ethos that's now spreading through ISIS, going to northern Africa, like Libya, going to Iraq, going to Afghanistan, going to Syria. And okay, now there's only so much you can do, but what we shouldn't be doing is making it fucking worse and giving them a platform to do all their shit. And if you need to be a little bit on PC to protect your population, then you need to be a little bit on PC.
Yeah.
And you need to be saying, listen, there's an issue. Like, look at Donald Trump, for example. This is what gets me. Donald Trump is an absolute bellend, and we've talked about him and Hillary before.
I've warmed to him since. He's not on all of his policies.
Well, no, but this is what I'm getting at, is he's done three things that I think everyone can say is not right. He's left the Paris Agreement.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
He started the Dakota Pipeline up, which is horrendous for the environment around there.
Yeah.
And
is that where there were all those protesters and they were getting fucking treated like shit and like badly?
I don't know.
You
might be getting it. So it might be that, but I didn't see any protests. But there probably were protests. And then the third one was the travel ban. So what he said was he wants to the Muslim
laws he did the laws on abortion as well or something, didn't he?
They've not tackled that yet. It's just his opinion on that. I don't think they've changed it.
Did they not sign something?
Oh, actually, yeah, he did. But I didn't follow that, so I can't comment on that one.
Right, okay.
But the three that I remember that I looked through was them three. There was a travel ban on people from certain countries, which was labelled the Muslim travel ban. There was the coal pipeline, and there was a Paris Agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of those got turned over, do you think, by the Supreme Court? And it's not
travel ban.
Yeah, why? I mean, that's the least important of the three, surely. Because it wasn't a permanent ban, and it was actually either Bush or Obama did something similar, I believe. But it was from 7 countries where terrorism is rife. And it was the reason that maybe it was so bad is I think he said if you're Christian in those countries you can come in. I think he said that. I might be wrong with that, but if he did say that, it makes it worse. But the travel ban is if it's temporary, if it's from certain countries on a terrorist list, you think, well, okay then. If it's temporary to sort shit out, or things settle down, okay, it's not great, but go for it. But the pipeline is fucking up all the wildlife in beautiful areas in America. You've got the Paris Agreement, which is the future of everyone, the future of the fucking world.
Arnold wasn't happy about that one.
No. But out of them three, it was a travel ban. And I don't understand it. I don't understand why that is such a hot potato at the moment. All that I think anyone's saying is, can we just get a hold of this shit for a while? Because something's going on. Whether you believe it's manufactured by our own governments to instill either civil unrest or so they can bring in more powers to control us, or whether you believe it is a genuine, just people are perceiving these books the wrong way, or in a way that they shouldn't, or in a way that you can but you shouldn't. Whichever one of them you go to, if you curtail the influx of these people and let everything settle down and try and get to the people that are radicalised, if you do that, what's the problem with that?
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that.
No, and that's blatantly what we need to do.
Yeah,
it's blatantly.
But that's when this extreme left come in and go, you can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't, and it's like, why not? Well, you're racist. Hang on, We're not talking even about race here. You know what I mean? It's not even, race doesn't matter. No. This is more about ideologies. And okay, not everyone who has that mindset and follows that religion has that ideology by any stretch of the imagination, but it seems like there's a growing number do.
Yeah,
and that needs to be tackled.
You look at a lot of these, say these far left kids, whatever, protesting, and it's kind of like they're out there with banners and the fucking face paint or whatever the fuck they put on, and they're protesting. And you realise that if you're wrong here and you're protesting against this, your country could be fucked.
Yeah.
There was could be some serious issues. And when they protest, it's fine. But if let's look at like Manchester yesterday, I'm sounding really right on this podcast.
Well, yeah, you are. But then again, that's only because that's what society is trying to say. That if you dare question it, you are. People like the EDL worry me.
They worry me. Tommy Robinson doesn't worry me. But if you look at what happened in Manchester,
we've actually looked into it.
Yeah, we've both listened to his long speeches. Yeah. Didn't say anything that was out of place in my opinion.
Wasn't racist.
Didn't say one racist thing. He's friends with Muslims. It's extremism that he's against.
He's against extremism.
He had 4 Muslims go to his wedding.
Yeah, he's not against Muslims. He's against extremist Muslims.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have a friend actually who's on my Facebook who went to the EDL march or rally or whatever. From what I saw of that, the problem that the EDL will always have is not Tommy Robinson and his ideals, the fact that racist people will be attracted to the EDL.
Yeah,
that's a problem. And you see a lot of guys. I'm not discriminating against anyone who wants to dress this way. You see a lot of guys with the fucking skinheads and the Burberry fucking caps and this, that, and the other. Your typical view of a racist.
Well, there will be a lot of racists in that.
There will be.
No one's denying there's a lot of racists about. Yeah. But as an actual huge problem in the country, I don't think it's anywhere near what it was.
No.
And I think there are other issues. And I think, as I said before, it's the numbers. There's a small, there's a small number of fucking online predators, but with, you know what I mean? There's a small number of all these horrible people, but they're not flooding society. Well, maybe some are, but it doesn't seem like it's something that it doesn't seem like the overriding problem. There's always going to be knobheads.
Yeah.
Always going to be knobheads. And for everyone, this whole left movement to be making out that anyone who says quite reasonable shit is, transphobic, homophobic, racist, and that's what scares me. Is I think maybe we need. I love Corbyn. I didn't vote for him, and it was only because at the moment I'm worried about the country going too left.
Yeah.
Too left, and it could under it. It could. I'm not saying it will.
It has potential to.
It has potential.
Unless indeed his policies are not so much manufactured out of emotion as they are out of a very, very smart, long thought out plan that he's got to make his kind of left ideals work. Do you know what I mean? Tackling things from the grassroots, this and the other, negotiating peace talks that he's a big fan of. And, obviously, like, he's called a terrorist sympathiser, this, that, and the other, but, like, when actually questioned about it, he kind of shoots people down who call him that. And
I don't buy that.
He gives them the real deal. Yeah. And they're like, oh. You know what I mean?
I just think that I think there just needs to be some fucking common sense and some logic thrown into the political debate. Not from him, I like him, but I imagine he'd surround himself with people who are very left, and I imagine they'd surround themselves with people who are very left, and then his whole left movement get even more out of control.
And I think the left movement's becoming really, really, really prominent, just in very small ways in society all the time, just like being really inclusive to everyone. For example, again, Radio 4. Just this program about how name calling is bad in school. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get some fucking banter.
But who cares if someone calls your name?
Yeah.
Who cares? I was having this argument at a get together that if you purposely set out to upset someone, you shouldn't do that. But if you say something that someone could then construe a certain way and then you forget it, fuck them. That's not your fault. It's like we're having the conversation about words. It's the intent of the word, not the word. There's no word you shouldn't be able to say.
You say it with malice, and there's a problem.
If you say the N word, but if you say it, I'm not going to say it because if people disagree with us, they'll be able to pull it up and go. But if you say that person is an effing N, then you're a racist bastard. You've used it in a nasty way. You deserve everything you get. If you're singing along with a rap song, and you happen to say the word in the rap song. doesn't make you a bad person. But it seems that
makes you a good rapper if you can sing along with a rap song, because it's a lot harder than people would think, and it's probably not for white boys like yourself and myself to do.
But the other problem is young people. Are you more intelligent and more switched on to the world now, or when you were 18?
Now.
Exactly. So why the fuck are we listening to students?
Exactly. You know what? We should have Martin Brown speak on this. If we could just get a hologram. He hates what he calls student mentality, where students are taught to criticise things all the time, whereas like non-students, like people living in the real world, are encouraged to try things and do things. Practicality.
It's stupid. I don't know anyone that would sit and go, when I was 20.
We've got way past the room time, don't you? I hope you've got £3.75 on you.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up and try to sneak out of this recording studio.
Big Tom Bigger out, breaking the law.
Subscribe to British Strength Magazine at www.britishstrengthmagazine.com.
That's it. Hold on. Bye.
Peace.